Hello, guys, and welcome to the Footcast Transfer Weekly, a new series for the Footcast channel where we will discuss and give our opinion on the hottest transfer rumours in European football. I hope that you guys are all doing well in lockdown, and we wish you all good health, and we hope in the coming weeks that everything will return to normal and we will all go back to loving football again. But anyway, guys, let's get into it. So many clubs are looking to strengthen this summer to further improve their squads, including Liverpool, who are really interested in Timo Werner. According to Sky Sports, the speculation over Timo Werner's future intensified last week with the news that he is ready to sign for Liverpool if his £52 million pounds release clause is met. This season for Werner has been the best yet, with 27 goals scored in 36 games, taking his overall total for Red Bull Leipzig to 88 in 150 appearances. Also, in the past, Werner has made no secret of his desire to move to Liverpool, as in an interview with Sky in Germany, he described Jurgen Klopp as the best coach in the world. Louis, thank you for joining me. And what do you think about this rumor?
Well, I mean, I think obviously you just said the statistics there, Ed, yourself, and I think personally, I mean, as a Chelsea fan, coming from my perspective, there's been a divide here. There was a split between either Liverpool or Chelsea. They were the two main Premier League clubs in the running for him. And the reports have been saying that he just wouldn't suit Chelsea's play, and that there's kind of almost not insulting, but saying that Chelsea have nothing to offer him, whereas Liverpool, he would suit Liverpool's play more. I do genuinely think that regardless of who gets this forward is going to be, they are going to have a brilliant striker. I mean, I watched him against Tottenham, and I'm sure you did as well, Ed, in the Champions League, and I watched a few of his Bundesliga appearances as well. And he is, bear in mind, he's only 24, so he's got plenty of seasons ahead of him. He is only going to get better. His pace and he's such a clinical finisher, and he's going to be a German international. He's going a real legend, a German international legend. So for me, I whilst Chelsea haven't been are now in the running as such, now it's Liverpool. I'm kind of pleased because the whole Chelsea philosophy, with Frank especially, has been giving the youngsters the opportunity to rise up. So bringing in a big star like Werner would just sort of kill the vibe a little bit at Chelsea. You've got Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Odoi. You've got those three, which are really key. You've got Reece James, who's in defence, but those guys who are academy, Chelsea born and raised, and working together. And that's why we're playing so well, because we've got such a fantastic academy of youth players. I don't know what you think, Ed, but personally, I agree with that. I think that's my view on why Chelsea aren't in any trouble in not getting him. I'm not annoyed. I am supporting the Chelsea philosophy here.
But back onto Liverpool. Personally, for me, I don't think Liverpool need him. I mean, they've got Mane, they've got Firmino, they've got Salah, they've got three top-class forwards. So personally, for me, I don't think Liverpool need him.
My response, though, like I can see where you're coming from. Liverpool have obviously got a star-studded lineup, but I mean, you take a look at Firmino, who's so versatile at the front, who can pretty much play in anywhere, including that cam centre attacking mid position. For me, Werner, I could imagine if you had Werner at the top and then just in behind him, you played Firmino, or even the two of them up top. I think that could be really, really formidable. Firmino to make that last touch, to make that last assist, that through ball going through to Werner, to be so fast, pacey, clinical, and finish the ball. I think for Liverpool, as much as I hate to say it, because I don't hold anything against Liverpool, I admire them, but they are only, if they get Werner, it's only, in my opinion, it's only going to make, I see what you mean, Ed, but in my opinion, Werner and Firmino could have a really formidable strike force together.
Well, thanks, Lou, for your opinions on this transfer, and I'm sure in the show in the coming weeks we will give you updates on that one. But I just wanted to move on to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and obviously for me as an Arsenal fan, it's very not nice to see him being linked with a move away from the Gunners. But according to reports, Arsenal have put a £30 million tag on him, with Chelsea seriously interested in him. However, in recent days, there have been reports that he's done a massive U-turn and he will sign a new deal at Arsenal, which brings loads of happy feelings for me. But Louis, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, the price tag for Aubameyang has shocked me, really shocked me. I mean, 30. I get that he's elder than the likes of Werner is, for example, but Aubameyang is a fast, prolific striker, and if we could get him, that would obviously, I think that would be really, really good. I think I know it's kind of contradictory bringing big names in, like I said, destroying the Chelsea philosophy, the youth philosophy. But I think Aubameyang could potentially, because there's talk of Willian leaving. So if Aubameyang came to Chelsea, the William spot could potentially be filled in by Aubameyang, a pacey, similar kind of player. I know two different positions slightly, but he could still have a place at Chelsea, I believe. I mean, in terms of, do I think he'll stay at Arsenal? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Ed, from an Arsenal, let's talk to you because you're the better man to answer this, really. Do you think Arsenal, Aubameyang, has fulfilled the potential of what Gunners fans expected of him when he first came to the club?
Well, certainly he has scored a lot of, really important goals for us, and he has turned up in really big games. But I think what's frustrating him is that there's no Champions League football. He's stuck playing in the Europa League. There's not been a lot of success, which I think for a player like him, he sort of craves. But I think he has grown fond of the Arsenal fans. The Arsenal fans have grown fond of him, and I think that he will sign a new deal.
But I actually disagree. I think the issue is, you said about that caliber of player. That caliber of player, someone like Aubameyang, coming from Borussia Dortmund, a few years ago now, and coming to Arsenal, he is going to, of course, like you used the word craving that European success, going beyond Europa. He is going to want a champion. Players of his caliber naturally feel as though they should be involved in Champions League football. And, as much as I hate to say it, Ed, I mean, I'm a Chelsea fan. I should enjoy saying it, but Arsenal haven't had the best Champions League success. And, I don't, you're my mate, but all due respect, mate, they've not had the best Champions League football. And that's just not going to be, to all the hot European stars in football, the Champions League is the holy grail, and that's what they really want the big shot at. So, I mean, why would you sign a new deal if you knew it was in jeopardy, if the European success of your club wasn't going that way? Chelsea, on the other hand, have had year by year. I know we had difficult times with Bayern Munich this year, who were just, when I watched that game, that was probably the best footballing display I've watched in a long time. So hat off to Bayern Munich for that night in Munich. And we were lucky enough that we couldn't actually play the second round to be embarrassed even more at the bridge. But we would have gone to Munich, wouldn't we? I think so. But I just think the Champions League European football is what all big names in Europe crave, like you say.
Well, certainly, I think the Aubameyang situation will be a conundrum for weeks to come. But I just wanted to move on to some different news. That today we found out that Ligue 1 and the French FA have completely voided the season. However, PSG have been crowned the Ligue 1 champions, and that is their seventh league title in 8 years. And I just wanted to ask you, Louis, what are your thoughts on this really big news today?
Well, I mean that again. This sort of brings light onto the whole talk of what different countries will be doing about their football leagues. You know, the PSG have been crowned champions today, but the league has been voided, and that may differ to what we see in England. I know there's been talk today that Premier League officials are going to be discussing with the government about players being tested and things like that. But I mean, and you know, different things, how they can prevent spread of the virus if we go back into football, albeit behind closed doors. But I mean, obviously, the PSG are a world-class team, and I'm not shocked to see that seventh league title in 8 years at all. That, you know, they are, for the last decade, they have been really ruthless in Europe. And I'm just shocked that they haven't been winning Champions Leagues. I think they're such a formidable team. Everything about them star-studded. But I mean, with regards to football in the Premiership, I just don't see how it can happen. With coronavirus, one of the highest death tolls, I think it's around 26,000 now in the UK. I don't see how you can commence the footballing world at the Premier League Championship levels when, you know, you have training together, you have people working in the behind you when you go to get a burger at half time, people working in all those stalls, you have police, you have stewards, they're all sharing the dressing room together. It's a contact sport first and foremost. I obviously am missing football just as much as you are, Ed, and everyone else watching this, but I just can't see it, unfortunately. I cannot see a Premier League return in the next 3 months.
Well, I'm sure we will certainly see a decision in the weeks to come, but let's get back onto the transfer news. And I, there's been some big news about Leroy Sané, and Bayern Munich remain determined to sign Leroy Sané for Man City, and Bayern want to pay between 52 to 60 million pounds. And Sané joined City from Schalke for 45 million in 2016. Louis, what are your thoughts on this potential really big transfer for Bayern Munich?
I mean, personally, I think it's difficult because Man City are, if they lose Sane, they've got, in my opinion, they've then got a position to fill left wing. Whereas I think you look at the left-hand side of that Bayern team, and as a Chelsea fan, it haunts me to remember watching Alphonso Davies play on the left-hand side against Chelsea. I know he was left back that night, but against us, he was so fast and so pacey. And I know he can play both left wing and left midfielder and left back. And he will one. And I know Kingsley Coman, I think he was on either the right or the left, but he can also play both sides. So I mean, whilst he's a phenomenal player, and obviously any team would want him, it will be more of a loss for Man City than it will be a gain for Bayern Munich, if you see where I'm coming from with that, Ed.
Yeah, my thoughts on the Sané situation is that I think that he will go there because Bayern Munich are a very attractive outfit. They have a very good Champions League pedigree, and also I think that he will go there and he will improve the team, and I think that's what Bayern want, because Bayern for the last few years haven't been as strong as they have been. So I think Sané going to them would be a really good move for both parties. And also, there's been some news today about Philip Coutinho that Barcelona are not willing to sell him for anything less than 100 million euros. Louis, with Coutinho, where do you think his next destination will be?
Coutinho's been a bit of a funny one. I mean, no doubt he established his quality at Liverpool. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, jumping around, I know he was at Barcelona and Bayern Munich, and he's had a slightly unsettled career. And I don't think he's ever reached the potential he could have done. He's always been one of those players that's he reminds me of James Rodriguez in a lot of ways, in terms of his potential being reached and his quality that he's reached. But I mean, Philip Coutinho, whilst I think he's great, I don't think Barcelona is the club for him. I think that is maybe because of he's fabulous, but I don't think Barcelona suits him, and Barcelona have got a fantastic side already. And I think in the Bayern Munich team, that doesn't suit him either. The German league, especially Bayern Munich, the way they play is a military operation. It is really physical. It's a very physical league, and Coutinho just isn't like that. I think personally, I actually could see him in a club like Arsenal. Personally, I could see him there, but Arsenal or maybe possibly even Man United. But I don't know. I think 87 million for Coutinho is badly overpriced. I think that's I don't know.
Well,
it's a tricky one, Ed. It's tricky with him. I'm not sure.
yeah, I think that Barcelona, because obviously they paid a lot of money for him, and I think that they're willing to take a loss on him, but they want to make as little of a loss as they can. So I think that's why they've raised their transfer price so high. But I think for Arsenal, it would be a brilliant signing. As Ozil is aging, even though he's a brilliant player, it's just in recent years he's 31 now. He's just not been at his best. So I think personally for us, it would be a brilliant signing, and it would make all Arsenal fans excited. But however, I just don't see it happening because of the COVID-19 and the transfer budget restraints. So yeah, I personally for Arsenal, I don't see that happening. But as you said, he could go to Man United and improve Man United, but I guess we will see. We will see what happens. Lastly, we have Juventus, who are willing to swap Alexandro for Emerson. Louis, what are your thoughts on this? Will it be a good move for both parties, or don't you think it's such a good move?
I think it'll be more beneficial to Chelsea. It's a better move for Chelsea than it is Juve, in my opinion, because Emerson's good, not great. Emerson has been okay. He's been good for Chelsea. He's had some very good performances, but I don't think I think Alexandro is the better left back. I don't know what the chances of this transfer are of materialising, because there's only been small talk over it so far. No money has been involved yet. Money talk yet. But I would happily take Alexandro. I think he's a really versatile player, being able to play again, like I was talking about Alphonso Davies, being able to play at that left side. I think that's really, like Marcos Alonso as well, a very versatile left-handed player who can own that left side of the pitch. So Alexandro for me would fit with Chelsea. I think he would do really well. I don't know what you think about that, but
I think I agree with you on that one. That I think Alexandro is a quality player, and I think for the Chelsea team under the Frank sort of philosophy, I think he'd fit in really well. He's experienced, he's a good player, he's won titles. So I think overall for Chelsea, I think it would be a better move. Whereas for Juve, I think that I think it would be a slight downgrade, because Emerson is a good player. I'm not doubting that, but he just doesn't have the quality that Alexandro has. So I think overall it would be a better move for Chelsea.
Yeah, like you were
Anyway,
saying, that
um,
that sorry, I just wanted to say that, like you were saying, that versatility is really, really key. That, like you were sort of saying, I think Alexandro is like, I think for me, the being able to play that left side is so important. But I know you probably want to conclude now. Before you conclude, I just want to wish everyone at home to stay safe, and I hope you're all well. Yeah, so hope you're well, stay safe, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and just like to hand back to Ed.
thanks, Louis. I just wanted to thank you for all of your input today, and guys, I think that just about wraps up our Transfer Weekly show for this week. Don't forget to follow our Instagram, subscribe, and like the video. And thanks, Louis. And that's your Footcast.